What's up, people? Welcome to the next, second, I guess, third maybe episode of Watching Paint Dry. Why am I calling this an episode? It's not really an episode. I'm just painting miniatures. This is my painting miniatures stream. It's called Watching Paint Dry. It's fun. It's the thing I do on Saturdays because my wife's gone to bed and I am not ready for bed yet. I want to do some painting. So we're painting Chaos Dwarfs because Chaos Dwarfs are great and they're fun. That's why I've got the awesome Blood Bowl-y background, because it's Blood Bowl Chaos Dwarfs. All my Warhammer Fantasy Chaos Dwarfs are... Anyway, they're all ready to go. So, yeah. So here's what I'm looking at today. I realized the other day, too, that I can zoom in if I need to. So for now, we're going to keep it wide angle here. Last week, we got as far as doing... Come on, focus camera. Doing these guys. Base coating is set. There we go. Close enough anyway. I did some inking on them. So now we're just kind of picking out the details, doing some shading on the nose and the hands and whatnot. Ideally, I'd like to finish these up tonight. We'll see how far we get. But the first thing I need to do is consult one of my favorite resources. That's the Citadel Paint app, because I don't remember exactly what color I painted or what shades I used on their noses. So yeah, we're gonna do that. Flesh. Dirty flesh. I don't have dirty flesh. It's not dark flesh. I guess I can just go through one at a time here. Hey, Mist, how's it going, man? That's really not what I'm looking for. What I really ought to do here is like plug my phone into the capture card so you can see what I'm looking at. I mean, I guess I could just put it here. Like, I'm not entirely sure what shade I used. It might be, actually, it might have been this one. Yeah, I think it was. Okay, dope. So I need Cadian Flesh Tone and Kislev Flesh. I have Kislev Flesh right here. For Cadian Flesh Tone, I'm going to have to go into the box, which is actually within arm's reach today, which is nice. Cadian Flesh Tone, there it is. We're playing Bastion. That is not a game that I've played. I have been hopelessly and woefully addicted to Mega Man Zero lately. Green screen's doing some shenanigans. You can hear it rattling because I've got all the original cartridges in there too. It's quite annoying. Oh. Hey, that makes it close a little better. I realized one of the cartridges was upside down. The first game that Supergiant made, they're the ones that made Hades most recently. Alright. Alright, so realistically here, what we're going to do is we're going to paint on the Cadian Flesh Tone, and then we're going to do some highlights with Kislev Flesh. So what I need for that is actually probably this small layer brush right here, and then I'll probably use something a little bit more intense for the highlight coat. So just grab this out of the way. I got my painting handle again, which I realize I'm not the biggest fan of, but I also acknowledge that it allows you all to see what I'm doing. And of course, one of these is still, yeah, it's this one, is still off their base because I never actually bothered to glue it. I guess I got my phone out of the way, so that's not a problem. Oh my gosh, this paint is... there we go. Hey Chamali, how's it going, man? More time stories. On to the next quest. Nice. Very cool. Alright. So on this coat, I want a little bit of the previous coat to sort of show through. Hey, Westy. What a game yesterday, Chamali and Westy. Like, I still can't get over how crazy that game went. I think you guys heard Kyle getting pretty excited about it. That's only the second time. Like, we've played a lot of Arkham Horror. That's only the second time we've ever won by killing the Elder God in close combat. Or in hand-to-hand combat, so. Chamali, that was one heck of an introduction for you, man. More often than not, you'll end up at that point in the game and be like, well, not a whole lot we can do. I gotta get the... Oh, I was just saying, heck of an introduction to Arkham for you yesterday. What is in my way? Oh, my other microphone. I am going to get you right out of the way, because there is no reason to keep you around right now. Hey Brian, how we doing? Boy, everybody's here today. Oh, there's my drop cloth. To watch me struggle with some Cadian Flesh Tone. There. I'm really unhappy with the coverage here. Oops. There we go. That's better. That's way better. Alright. That guy's nostrils have been highlighted. What an odd thing to say. Alright, next guy. This guy's got a little bit more flesh to him. He's not wearing the goggles that the other guy had on. So we get to go a little bit sloppier. These are the same dudes as last week, yeah. Just finishing them up. Because one of the things that I've found with the inks, the Citadel inks in particular, is they, like, for best results, you want to allow them overnight to dry. So you'll see me do that a lot. Like, you know, I'll get a fair ways with them in terms of base coating, or a lot of things you'll see a base coat episode and then like a finalization episode, if you want to call these episodes. Again, like I said at the top of the stream, it's like they're not really episodes. It's just, you know, picking up where we left off. But slapped a little into his eye there. That's unfortunate. I have to fix that. Oh, that looks good actually. It's a two-parter. Almost everything's gonna be at least a two-parter, if not more. RPD. I'm gonna try a thing here. Bear with me for a minute. Is that better? Can you guys see that better? I know I can. It occurs to me I don't really have to show the entire. Hey, Adam. How you doing, man? Nice job on April, by the way. Saw that. One of these days I might pick up some of the just some random TMNT minis. Just see what I do with them. But I want to get through the Arkham minis first. That is one part of the experience, Chamali, that I don't. And he's probably not listening, but oh my God, Mist, you have no idea. You have no idea, my dude. There's a zombie side TMNT expansion. Oh, cool. Yeah. I might have to hit that up then. Actually, Doug and I do play zombie side sometimes, so. Or we did before quarantine happened. So I zoomed the camera in. Does that improve the experience for you guys? Does it change much at all? Give me some feedback on that. Back in the days before, I could see better. If you could tilt it down. Oh, you mean like physically move the camera? Yeah, hold on. Or you mean tilt my hand down? Okay, I'll see what I can do. I mean, on some level, I have to be able to see what I'm painting too. Oh, the camera. You mean, so like... More like that? Okay, perfect. Okay, these three are done. Cool. Thank you for the help, Adam. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, that really does allow me to center the mini a lot better. Cool. Thank you. Thank you. Boy, this brush is just not cooperating today. Alright. Dandy Dungeon Legend of Brave Yamada. And it's pretty good. Alright, I'll take your word for it. Candace painted with you, and she started the Reaper Learn to Paint kit that I did. Nice! one of these, like, part of me wants to go back and like buy a learn to paint kit and just be like, just see how frustrated I get with it. Is your mini holder? This is called a paint handle. I guess it could have an actual name, Fred. Yeah, it's just a GW product that when I was putting this, like, I normally, like, if I'm painting just on my own, I don't use it. And my hands get all manner of filthy, disgusting, sloppy. But for the purposes of allowing you all to see what I'm doing, that's why I'm using the paint handle. It's kind of neat. You can unscrew it, like put a miniature off to the side. My guess is eventually GW will start like selling this bit separately. Camera seems to be lagging a little bit today. It's odd. I'm not super worried about it. It's not that far behind. Yeah, I quite liked that idea. Again, though, this is relics of me being old school in terms of the way I paint. I just accept the fact that I'm gonna make a mess. Ooh, that was actually okay. That's fine. Hand doesn't cramp up, and two, you don't bugger up the paint job with your fingers. Yes. Yeah, that is one thing that I do struggle with, is hand cramping. The other big problem, and if you watch my eyes, every once in a while they'll twitch like really, really hardcore. And like I've gotten pretty used to it at this point, but it used to screw me up really, really bad. Yeah, that just happened. It was not a bad one, but... One of the things that I started doing early on is, like, I use my pinky to stabilize. Like, I'll put it somewhere on the corner, and then, like, it's almost like a pool cue at that point. Basically provides me with one extra point of grip. Or ankles you'd have trouble with. Hey, man, I've painted elves and stuff before. Ankles are rough. Alright, this is Mr. falling apart here. That's one I have to do without the handle. So I finished the Mega Man Zero games on my own playthrough this week, and I moved on to ZX. Oh my god, is that game horrible by comparison. It is an absolute miserable slog. I posted about this in Discord. It's an open world game, so it's like just you spend half your life wandering around aimlessly trying to figure out where you're supposed to go. people. Which is just... it's... Yes, but it's a bad Metroidvania, Mist. Like, 0-1 is kind of Metroidvania. Adam and I have had this discussion a couple times. Like, it's closer to Metroid than Mega Man has ever been. What felt better, knowing you could say goodbye to Gears Judgment or knowing you could say goodbye to 0-4? Definitely Gears Judgment. 0-4 is still 0. It's just bad. It's bad 0. ZX is like once I can let go of ZX Advent, I'm just gonna be like, okay, we're good. I'm done with this. But yeah, no, it's like ZX Advent. There's no rhyme or reason to which areas connect to each other. Or I mean, there is, but it's not intuitive. So yeah, I'm not happy with it. Give me back my classic 0. Or X, like either one is fine. All right, so that's that layer done. While I let that set, I'm gonna do some edging, I think, on the red parts. Which I want to say was Evil Sun Scarlet, but I could be wrong. So I'm gonna bust out the app again. Nope. Nope, that's not it. Nope. I'm not thrilled with that one either. Again, I'm doing this in a place that you can't see it, so that's not... I don't want to put that down in wet paint, though. I guess I'll move this. That's pretty cool, but not what I used. I might do a take on this. Just instead of the flesh shade, I substitute the Nolan oil. So I go to Evil Sun Scarlet and then... Oh, it's Wild Rider Red. Okay, that's the edge coat. Oh, you're right. Oh, Twitch, you and your foolish regulations. Alright, so I'm gonna try one with the Evil Sun Scarlet and we'll see where that takes us. Hey Seamus. And then if I don't like that, I'll go to the Wild Rider Red. I already used some. Painted an evil hand. Do all the paints have edgy names? Yes, it's GW. They name things bad. Which one did I... Oh, here? What did I paint an evil hand on? Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, realistically, like, I probably should refold this paper, but whatever. Oh, I was already using this for edging. Clearly that's what I was doing here. Right there. So, in a grimdark future, there's only edgelord names. Alright, let's see if I can get enough off of the brush here. Oh my gosh. This is the part that I hate the most. So I'm just trying to make the tiniest of lines on this guy. It actually appears to be working pretty okay. Adam says, I want a time traveler to come here, and someone's like, cut the red wire, and he doesn't understand. He's like, oh, you mean cut the flesh blood of orphans wire? That would be very funny. The blood for the blood god. I mean, their names used to be, like, way more tame. But they are definitely not that anymore. Brush is giving me so many problems today. Really didn't want to have to do it, but I may have to go to the store and get a new one. So I'm using the surface here as a stabilizer. Again, not thrilled with how brush or paint are reacting today. Oops, that was too much. The Necrons are chaos, I suppose that would provoke that sort of response. Yeah. So, I had an interesting discussion about Warhammer this morning. Someone asked me, is just everybody evil in 40k? And I'm thinking to myself, actually, kind of? Alright, I think I got most of the highlights on this guy all situated. He looks pretty okay. So I don't do too much highlighting, just enough, like on the red especially. The bronze, it doesn't show up particularly strongly. Actually, I should rinse this. The least evil group are the Tower, the Orcs. Well, right, but like Tyranids also, because Tyranids, like, they're not evil, they're just hungry. They're just really, really hungry. So like Galactus. They're like Zerg meets Galactus. Oh god, if Sarah Kerrigan had a love child with Galactus. Yeah, right. Oh no, is when that thought popped into my head, I was like, oh god. Hard pass. Spawn more Overlord. Is it Giant Kerrigan or Tiny Galactus? Yes? We're into 0-2 now. Intro stage. Honestly, I'd be more worried for Galactus. Are we postulating that Sarah Kerrigan could beat the crap out of Galactus? Because, like, I'm there for that. She's the one that just has blades. Blades. Missed. Alright, I actually really like the way the highlights popped out on that hand. As a former Heart of the Swarm Kerrigan main, yes, there's lots she can't kill. There are lots she can't kill. Yeah, for sure. You know, I'm frustrated because, like, that is one of the... StarCraft 2 is one of the games that sort of got away from me. That game came out... Oh, crap, that was almost really bad. That game came out during sort of my hiatus from video games. And, StarCraft, growing up, StarCraft was very, very, very important to me. And I'm just gonna stamp a little bit of that off. Yeah. Oh, that looks good. I like that a lot. Yep. Cool. And I definitely, obviously wanted to play a lot of StarCraft 2, but some things went down for me that kind of put me off video games for a while. And unfortunately, that fell right in the middle of that time period in my life. Oh yeah, annoying units was always the best. What is your major malfunction? Actually, imitating the siege tank is how I developed. I I was doing some voice acting in college to help pay some bills, and imitating the siege tank driver is how I developed my Sarge voice. Too much. Oh, it actually worked. Not a fan, Seamus? The Goliath Online. That one? I mean, there is definitely some battle cruiser operational in some of the voices I do on Tales from the Archive also. My music has killed itself. 1 second. Get that back. In which YouTube becomes Netflix. Are you still there? Yes, I'm still here. Punk. Alright, I'm really liking the way these shoulder pads are coming out. Alright. This guy was pretty easy. There we go. Halfway there. It was all about short, speedy missions that if you didn't play the way the game told you, it punished you. What I loved about the original is the big maps you played as you wanted to. Yeah, for sure. I think, again, I didn't play much StarCraft 2. My wife got it for me. Just, like, aside from not being on video games at the time, I was also inundated with filmmaking projects because I was studying film. That's what I did. All about the PvP. Yeah. I'll admit I did play an awful lot of StarCraft 1 PvP. I wasn't very good at it, but it's what my friends were doing. It's kind of why I played, Destiny PvP now. I'm not good at it, but my friends are playing. We used to... This is a fun story. When I was in high school, my school did like a winter carnival thing, whoops, right before February vacation every year. And the nerds never wanted to be there. Like, it was all the events that the school put together were for the jockey individuals. So we would just sit there and be like, yay, whatever. And then we'd do our Battle of the Bands and go home. Like, that was the only reason we were there, because we were all the nerds were in bands. And I was rhythm guitar player. Ostensibly I was the bass player, but I ended up playing rhythm guitar more often than not for a band called Automatic Sliding Door. And but the problem was they always scheduled the Battle of the Bands to be the very last thing. So we were all just kind of stuck at the school. And one year we were like, can we have a video game tournament? And the school was like, well, what video game are you talking about? And we're like, oh, it's this rated teen, because we're all teens and that's fine. Semi co-op, like, we can put points to it. We can have it be part of Winter Carnival. Oop, I missed a bit here. And they were like, well, what do you do in it? We're like, you build things and you do stuff and it's fun. We were really, really vague about it. So somehow we got it past the censors to have a StarCraft tournament. And I'm just realizing that I missed a bunch of elbows and things with the Kislet or the Cadian Flesh Tome. I'm going to quickly do that. And because we were all of us played StarCraft PvP anyway, we went in and we just played PvP at school and it was fine. And whoever had the most wins at the end of the day would get the points. Suffice it to say, 2 years in a row, the StarCraft tournament actually ended up being the deciding factor of what of who won Winter Carnival. It was kind of funny. We had a good time with it. Took over the entire computer lab, put StarCraft on every seat. That computer lab was it was such a joke. We'd all finish our work, oh wow, I'm way off the camera. We'd all finish our work super early and just have Unreal tournaments at the end of the school day, or Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 shipped with the school IMAX, and they put me in charge of removing it. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna hide it. Yeah, dude, Unreal Tournament was so dope. Yeah, the Razor launcher, right? Okay, here's another thing that I heard online today. Was it today? Yesterday? I don't know. Recently. Tony Hawk, right? Had a meeting with Activision right after, I believe, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 came out. And he knew it was about his royalties for it and whatever. He did not have any idea how valuable that game was. Dude handed him a check for $3 million or something like that. It was insane. I don't know why, but through all these all this quarantine time and all that, I've been going back and watching back episodes of shows that I used to watch in college, like Jackass, which somehow that show's still enjoyable. It shouldn't be. It for no reason should be enjoyable, but it still makes me laugh. So. Yep, I think this guy looks good. Last one, this is Mr. Falling Apart. Let's see if I can just keep him vertical. Realistically, I should just go get some super glue and fix him, but I don't know where my super glue is right now. I've been shouting at it all day, where is you? And I can't find it. Yeah, the Razor launcher was sick in Unreal Tournament. What was some of the other games? Like the middle schoolers were all about Elastomania, or Elma, which is like the original Flash dirt bike game. We played a lot of Endgame, which was like a ninja simulator, ninja like jump puzzle thing. That was funny. That my poor computers teacher, like, we put him through the ringer. Spelling Jungle, yeah, definitely. Alright, I gotta go back and do the elbows and things with my flesh color. I mean, now my students are all playing, like, Classics Reloaded. So they're all playing, like, Oregon Trail and stuff. The river is flooded. What could be the cause? Yeah. What am I doing? I just tried to put my paint in the paint handle. That's not how that works. Learning and growing. Alright. Get back in here. Alright, do you? Yeah, you need. So yeah, you know, my students are all dying of dysentery in the Oregon Trail. Which actually was kind of funny. Obviously I played that a lot as a kid. I think we all did. And so the other day, it was right before February vacation. And they said, "Oh, you should play with us." And I was like, "Are you sure you want me to?" And one of them was like, "Yeah, we'll race you. We'll see you." And then I sat down, cracked my knuckles, and speed ran it. And they were like, "What? How did you finish that so fast?" I'm like, "I think you underestimate how much I played this when I was, you know, in middle school." I wish I had Zach's students when I still worked at a school. My kids would always try and find a way around the blocks. Oh, yeah. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. Part of it, that's part of why we, like, have, you know, Classics Reloaded. Like, the kids know about it. Like, I teach them about it. It's so they won't try and get around the firewall. It's a little bit of a reverse psychology thing that I picked up from the German teacher. At my high school. Day one of 7th grade German, he taught all the kids all the cuss words, so they wouldn't ask again. And I said, well, if it works for Herr Olsen, maybe it'll work for me too. And so far, so good. Well, amusingly enough, so I didn't take German. I took French. but my buddy Kyle was, well, he took German, and his dad was our English teacher, so he and I spent a lot of time just like around the school, so we knew all the teachers for one reason or another. Anyway, Madame Cotenois made us look up the cuss words, which of course my buddy Chris and I did immediately. Seized a dictionary, and meanwhile my buddy Jared was struggling with verb conjugation. All right. Okay. Just a couple more things here before we get on to my favorite part, which is a technique that I invented for basing. I want to do a couple little accents on the silver bits, just like the spiky bits on a few of their helmets, like this guy. And then I want to do that final Kislev flesh layer on their flesh. I do have to do eyes and stuff. I'm gonna probably end up doing that off stream because I can't quite see well. I'll try it. See if I can see well enough to get the eyes. It'll be interesting. I might move my microphone out of the way. Okay. So what's first? I also have to. Oh, I have to highlight the beards too. I got quite a few things left to go then. All right. Well, here we are. I was never good at language. I got conjugation down easy, but it was always getting the vocabulary to stick that was the issue. Yeah, J'ai un petit pamplemousse dans mes colons is my favorite French phrase. Not actually a real French phrase in any way. It's something my buddy Nate and I made up. It means I have a small grapefruit in my pantyhose. It was the phrase we used when we didn't know what to say. It's kind of like our supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. And it worked. Confused the heck out of the teachers. Okay, I did 5 years of Spanish, then French my senior year because I was going to France. It was me as a senior and the whole rest of the class was freshmen. I tried the French trip, and then my teacher was like, "You look like you aren't enjoying the class. Why don't we make this an independent study for you in the library?" Nice. Oh, that's dope. I love it. My independent study was digital electronics, and I don't know if I want Ultimate Gray. It was with my favorite math teacher. Actually, incidentally, the father of another of my best friends. That's the color I want for their beards. One of the two of my best friends, actually. And he basically let me get away with whatever I wanted in that class. He would... But I remember one time he was like, "Okay, I need to teach the class what not to do. Zach, can you go ahead and blow up this circuit?" And I was like, "Wait, you're telling me to set fire to it?" And he's like, "Yes, the more explosive, the better." And I was like, "Okay, you got it, Brizard." And I definitely did explode that trainer by putting altogether too much voltage through it. So last time I painted the beards Mechanicus Standard Gray. Normally I go right for the Dawnstone on the beards, but I wanted to try something a little different. So, bringing it into Dawnstone now. The library was also nowhere near the French room, and the librarians did a whole lot of nothing there, so there was no one to check to see if I was actually attempting French too. Wow. As a librarian, that kind of hurts, man. Not me personally, but like, or not you saying that. It's the librarians that did nothing. Like, that sucks. Can you teach them what not to do? For some reason, I'm envisioning you doing a vine sauce, Joel. Oh my god. No, that's exactly what RPD, that's why I find Vine Sauce Joel so funny. Is because that's exactly what I did during digital electronics. During my independent study. Oh yeah, perfect. Alright, let's do some detailing on this. I'm just remembering how hard you and I got laughing that one night. Watching Vine Sauce Joel. If you guys haven't seen Vine Sauce Joel, RPD is going to post a link in the chat. He is too funny. So I'm kind of doing like a hybrid dry brush, like normal technique on the beards, just to kind of give them that like filthy look. So the nice thing about Chaos Dwarfs is they are incredibly filthy. They're just disgusting creatures. So I can kind of get a little sloppy and get away with it. I'll do some like regular dwarfs at some point, and I'll show you sort of what the differences look like. Take risks, make mistakes, get messy. Okay, Ms. Frizzle. How you coming on that Vine Sauce Joel link there, RPD? Get that posted. I want people to see him. I wish I could remember which one we were laughing so hard at, but it was like RPD and Taffy and I think. And we were just utterly dying. There are no mistakes in painting Chaos Dwarfs, just happy little accidents. I wouldn't go that far. It just affords me a little bit of extra, like, wiggle room. Yeah, I like that a lot. I never go completely to like a white when I'm doing Chaos Dwarf beards. Oh. Yeah, they've got some pretty ridiculous hats. In the lore, apparently, the Blood Bowl, the Chaos Dwarf Blood Bowl players use black shard armor inside the hats. So the hats actually do provide some modicum of protection. Yeah, I quite like that actually. Yeah, he looks dope. Ah, yes, the Windows XP destruction is so good. Thank you, man. Just it's from the one time I played Blood Bowl, isn't the dwarf's primary strategy to get the ball and then have something large yeet them across the field? I can't speak for the dwarfs, but the Chaos Dwarfs, yeah, that's Snotlings. Snotlings do that for sure. The Chaos Dwarfs definitely, like, they are steadfast. They don't move. They have hobgoblins to do that for them. That's what I'll be painting next week. Them and the bull centaurs. Good night, Westy. Oh, wow, that was too much. Okay. All I remember was the guy had like his personal main team of dudes, and I was using this hodgepodge teams, and I won by not moving the ball, by not moving my player with a, but by moving my player with a giant or something. Yeah, yeah, that definitely sounds like a snotling strategy. The Chaos Dwarf blockers or dwarf blockers, like they are basically immobile fortresses. They're super rad in that way. And then the Chaos Dwarfs, for example, have little snotlings, little hobgoblins to ferry the ball around for them. Hobgoblin sneaky gits. And then they have big things like bull centaurs, which are also very fun. Yeah, yeah. Ogres can do that. Okay, as we're starting to near completion here. While I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna go ahead and do their teeth. I'm gonna see if I have a better color than Screaming Skull for their teeth. I might. So far it's still that one. Okay. I guess that is what we're going to use. It's fine. Not a dentistry stream. Wow, listen, RPD. some amount of dentistry is inherent in the system. Because occasionally you have guys doing like, ah, and you gotta paint all their teeth. And it's an absolute nuisance. These guys just have giant, like, weird protruding underbite. All right. Might help if I open the paint pot all the way. So this Screaming Skull has just a little hint of green, like a rotten color to it. Which I maintain the Chaos Dwarfs probably haven't brushed their teeth in ever. What do you guys think of that? Yeah, I like that. I'm happy with that. I'll also point out that the teeth on these models are way shorter than the ones on some of the ones I have at the store. Their teeth up to their eyeballs. Steve from the skull, or no, it's Tom from the teeth department mandated that they be completely unwieldy. I was about to say Steve from the Skulls department didn't get his hands on these ones, but then I saw the little iconography stuff on his helmet. Come on, camera. Teeth would probably be among the first things lost in Blood Bowl, definitely earlier than the ball. Yeah, right? Chaos Dwarfs can put all the black shard armor they want inside the helmets. Doesn't protect their teeth. I want to say it's only a matter of time before they put their teeth as well. There we go. Whoops. Oh dear. All right. Teeth, check. Ooh. All right. So silver spiky bits and final highlight coat on the flesh bits. Well, since I've got the flesh bits stuff right here, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Sorry. Momentarily distracted there. So on this coat, I'm just hitting like the very most raised parts of his nose. Should look a little bit ruddy. Gaps are fine. That's expected with this kind of paint. Same with his elbow. It's a little more pronounced on the elbow. There's some muscle definition in there. Just kind of does like that. Yeah, I like that quite a lot. Rinse and repeat. And same thing on the elbow. Just a little bit of that in there. Cool. Next, just assembly line. Round them up, throw them in. Oop, this is falling apart. Oh, okay. Trying to turn my autofocus off on the camera, so it's always where I want it to be, but oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, and the elbow. Very hidden elbow in here, but it's there. keep knocking this mixing tray out of the way. So I couldn't believe it the other day. My wife actually asked me to watch the James Bond series with her. I was so happy. We sat down to try and watch Dr. No tonight, and then her sister called the latest family gossip, or drama, or whatever you want to call it. And I was like, no, I wanted to watch Bond. We got about a quarter, maybe a quarter of the way through the film before excrement proverbially hit the fan. I was very sad, but it is what it is. All right, that's the flesh taken care of. Got to do the silver accents. Find an appropriate color here. Oh dear. Sooner or later, I'm going to forget to latch this box. I think this one will work if I have enough in it. Now I got to back up. Mr. Chomps. Yeah, right? Oh, it's the worst. I mean, my wife is notorious for falling asleep during movies, but, like, that's fine. It's when they get, like, that, because that's predictable. But if they get, you know, actively interrupted, that's when I get upset. Oh, yeah. Okay, good. My iron breaker is good. That's what I'm going to use to pick out the details on the edges of the spikes. Spiky bits. As well as the glass, whoa, the goggles and things that they have. Just letting that drain for a minute. My wife doesn't often get bored with the movies that we watch together. She just, like, falls asleep. It's just, like, her body is for some... And she does it when she's reading, too. Like, it's just a thing. Her body just does that. So we've both kind of just adjusted to it. It's fine. That's part of why I have this stream, is, like, she falls asleep, so I'm not ready for bed. So I'm gonna paint. This one doesn't need a whole lot, but... Most of these don't need too much. The armor kind of stands on its own. I'm just kind of touching up some areas. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, totally fine. You know, my wife's a pharmacist. Like, she has a really tough career. I guess it's a good thing that she has a chance to get to be relaxed. I can't focus on just watching a movie, so whenever Lady Drake wants to... I love that you call her Lady Drake, by the way, Mist. I think that's terrific. Her idea. Oh well. I think it's rad and very cute. So I'm just kind of picking out some areas where the ink, like, either didn't settle where I wanted it to, or where more of the armor needs to show. I don't usually do this because, again, you're looking at it from multiple feet away. But I think that's pretty okay. Right there. Now this guy is going to be a little more complicated, because what I want to accomplish here is edging on the spike on his helmet. And my brush just decided to have a conniption. Settlers of Ink, one of the oddest versions of Catan. Indeed, RPD. You play as a giant squid. Spirit Island's inevitable naval expansion. I don't think Spirit Island needs a belly button. Sorry. That's an atrocious joke. I shouldn't have done that. I feel bad. Alright. That guy looks pretty good, I think. I love the... So, there's the result of the green ink that I put on it last time. I wanted to show off how that worked. I also do still pay attention to the movie while also doing whatever it is also doing. Typically playing Hades or Risk of Rain. Fair. I am not particularly good at dividing my attention. So that's why, like, when I'm playing, Mega Man or something like that, I'm primarily playing Mega Man, and I'll watch something like Goof Troop that I don't care about actually paying much attention to. And can I just take a moment to just be like, Disney Plus, come on. So good. You heard it here first. Zach doesn't care about Goof Troop. It's true. I love it, but I don't care about it. Explain that one. All right. Actually, this one inked really, really nicely. You can see the dark patches of green. Doesn't really need any highlighting because of it, which is really nice. This guy's the falling apart. Hold on. Sorry. Let me get my thoughts arranged first, RTD, and get the music turned back on. Figure that one out. Heart's Hearth is RPD's like alt universe Sentinels stuff, or post Oblivion Sentinel stuff that I've been sort of consulting on with him a little bit. All right, is that it? That might be it, other than eyeballs. I only have to do 3 of them. Oh boy. Okay, there is one more thing I need to do before I get to eyeball stuff, and that is patching up their boots, because I slopped a lot of paint on their boots. So what I need is Abaddon Black. Oh, cock. I'm just dropping everything on the floor. Okay. Can you get up there? Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, so see, as I'm going, like, I'm slopping a lot of, like, red on their boots and stuff like that. That really has no business being there. Oh, you know what? That might help. There's a cat hair on my mic, on my pop filter. Kept tickling my nose every time I leaned forward. Okay. So I'm gonna do black, and then like an edge highlight of a dark gray, I think. That's how I'm gonna pull this off. I'm gonna double check that, but realistically, you'd think I'd write this stuff down. I did write some of this down somewhere. Couldn't tell you where. Oh well, we're gonna wing it. That guy's okay. Actually, I'm going to do a quick reference image search because I'm not happy with the way they're... not happy with what I see. Yeah, they do. Darn it. Really hoping to avoid that. I think the dudes may have like metal toe covers. Yeah, they do. Darn it. Man, mine look better than these. Alright, well. Fine. Lead Belcher it is. Yeah, really I'm not fond of these metallic toe clip things. It's all right. I have a plan. It's not a good plan. It's about 12% of a plan, but I guess it's barely more than an idea, but... Most of my ideas are just individual characters and making Felicia x Ivana happen. It's conversations like this that make me want to do my universe construction again. I put that one on hold a while ago. I didn't bother to, like... I mean, so I guess I was kind of thrown into... Oops. Thrown into the whole create a universe thing. So I had the Tales from the Archive verse. Or the Earth 603 Sentinels. And I didn't really bother to create anything at all. I just build off whatever Christopher and Adam give me. One of the frustrations that I frequently have with Tales from the Archive, and part of why I take more breaks than Dolphin or Pirate Savvy and Dover, is writing Tales from the Archive strays extremely close to writing fan fiction, and I don't like that. Problem is, I'm actually a fairly decent writer, and trying to write something in only a matter of hours does not give me ample time to get across what I want to get across. So I'm never exactly happy with my Tales from the Archive stories. Yeah, see, I don't like that stuff at all. I'm all about street level, grim and grimy. Like that Parse story. Oh my god, that Parse story. With the drug boys. And that cover ranks with one of the highest that I think I've seen Adam do. I don't know if he's still around in chat, but that cover was so dope. Oh, you be careful, Brian. Parse is RPD's girl. But yeah, no, for sure. I gotcha. All right. Now the part that I've been dreading. Eyeballs are the worst. And I have no idea how I'm going to paint them on camera. But I guess we just dive right in, right? I don't use a white for that. I actually use a flesh color the whites of our eyes aren't actually white. So I use this flayed one flesh. And a teeny tiny brush. Or wait a minute, is it pallid witch flesh? It's pallid witch flesh. I grabbed the wrong one. Hold on. There it is. Yep, pallid witch flesh. Some of these I've used enough to like actually know before I grab it out of the box which color I need. All right, so these three guys don't. Their eyes are sunken back far enough that no matter how hard I try, I won't be able to paint them. So it's just these three, which are off camera at the moment. These three right here. And I need a dumb fine brush. Specifically, one that is labeled fine detail brush. And now it's time to paint eyeballs. Lightly sobbing. Google Dorf, can you please come back? Goggledorf, can you please come back? No, it's fine. Like, I don't have a picture of it, but like somewhere in Adam's Discord, I posted a picture of the hobgoblins that I did recently. Their eyes are about the same size as these. They came out in the same batch, so they're doable. I'm like, oh man, I'm nervous right now. All right, let's give this. Whoa. I can't get close enough to this guy. I may not be able to get close enough to him on camera. Hold on. Yeah, I don't think I can get. Soundtrack is, yeah, it's a Mega Man soundtrack. I'll check in a second. Hold on. That is Mega Man 03. So I definitely can't get close enough to their eyes on camera in order to see what I'm doing. So if you give me a minute, off camera, I will do that. I'll do the eyes and bring them back on camera. Yeah. I can do it off camera, but I and you can see I was able to get the white into his eyes there. Just unfortunately, yeah, it's disappointing. I just like there's too much stuff in my way, and my camera's, you know, like at arm's length from me. Actually, I'll try a thing. Hold on. One of these guys need a little bit of patching. I mean, I'll give it another shot, but... Yep, that's better. All right, just got to do the black dots. And then we'll move on to basing, which is my favorite part. I'm having a lot of trouble with this. I think I got him. As close as he's gonna get anyway. So the reason, like, technically, again, you're most of the time going to be significantly far away from any model that hits the table. But Alex and I made each other a promise that we would always paint eyes if we had the opportunity. I don't know why we chose to do that, but yeah, that one looks good. That one, there's no way this is going to appear on camera. But his eyes are actually really good. You're gonna have to just take my word for it. Sorry about that. There's a level of detail that I think the camera just isn't gonna pick up on most models. That one I'm happy with. Now this guy looks actually really rad. I don't know. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but this one came out really dope. I'm happy with him a lot. All right, best part coming up, basing. Now, I am going to introduce you to a new tool in my arsenal in just a second that you're all intimately familiar with, I'm sure. But I've never thought of to use for this purpose. Now, what I do for Chaos Dwarf bases is I always imagine them coming from like a lava world. So what I do is I use a mechanical pencil to trace out where I want the lava flows to go. Remember to bring up your wife and you watching Bond again on a future stream using the facts I've gathered. I got a proper Bond one-liner for the occasion. All right. So I'm going to do my best to hit these penciled in areas with lava. And we'll see what happens. I'm using this technical stuff called Sterling Battlemire that is really the bread and butter to this technique. I mean, I guess it's worth asking. What do you guys think so far? They look all right? You ever put fun Easter eggs into the patterns? Yes, actually. So I have a unit of 3 bull centaurs with the 6-pointed star of chaos, in the lava flow, and my Bale Taurus has the insignia of the dwarf or the chaos dwarf goat god Hashu. So yeah, I definitely do that. All the bases on my Wolf Riders line up. You guys are bringing it with the puns today. I love it. Quite honestly, like lately, I haven't even been drawing the patterns on. I've just been freehanding it. But just to show you the full technique here. This one I'm fond of. I got this big flow in the front and then 2 little flows coming out the front. Or, sorry, big flow in the back and 2 small flows coming in the front. All right. So they're all marked out, ready to go. I'm using this scraping tool that you can see here. That'll help me spread the Sterling Battlemire onto the bases. I got to make sure I leave the hole open here for the ball. Yeah, so I guess let's get to it. I don't know that I want to use the painting handle for this, because it's the Sterling Battlemire works way nicer if I just kind of leave it. We'll see. Oh dear. I can't tell if there's any more in here or not. Yeah, there is. Okay, cool. So this is like a clumpy medium that like balls up on itself, basically. and creates this cool texture effect. I used a similar technical paint on some miniatures I did for Adam called Astro Granite. I'll be using Astro Granite on like the Gears of War minis, for example. Boy, it's tricky to get around those holes. All right, so that's more or less how it's going to work. So I did one here without the paint handle. I'll do the next one with it. We'll just see if the paint handle makes any difference in this instance. Yeah, I guess it does. So it occurs to me there will be a couple more steps to do on these next time, because the the Sterling Battermeyer takes. That's another thing that takes overnight to dry. Will there be 29 steps in total? I hope not. It depends on what you call a step, RPD. Why 29? That's an oddly specific number. So the more I poke this, the clumpier it gets, and the more it looks like lava when all's said and done. Oh, the Alfred Hitchcock movie. Okay, gotcha. But what's nice is the finishing colors on these are also the starting colors on the hobgoblins. So, oops. Also gives me a chance to glue that guy. So it'll be very quick and clean to finish these guys up next week. So what's gonna end up happening is in the gaps that I penciled off, I'm gonna do this progressive shading using reds and yellows and whites and oranges that make it look like fire is running through in between these little patches of land that I'm creating. I think it's 5 different colors that I use, 5 different layers. Sounds like we're into 04 now. All right, 2 more, including Captain falling apart. Also, I know I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel here on this particular pot of Sterling Battlemire. I have another one. It's just not opened. I'm trying to use up one before I open the other. That didn't work. Just trying to do the falling apart guy here real quick. Almost there. Slopping this all down the sides is not looking good. That's alright. I can fix it. That's what they make Abaddon black for. Not entirely. Alright. One last quick thing tonight, so I can let that sit. I want to quickly ink wash the silver bits that we discovered on their toes. With the same green camo shade that we used on the rest of their armor. Alrighty. So the next step here would be to take that same corn red that I used on the undercoat for their armor, their main color there, and go through the lava flows. Unfortunately, the battle mire is too wet right now for us to be able to pull that off. So I think that means that's probably where I'm going to end it for the night. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I really enjoy doing these. I'm so glad that so many of you do as well. I will be back on the Handelabra Games channel tomorrow night at 7 to 9. Is that when I do it? I think it's 7. For Tales from the Archive. And I will be back here on Thursday night. I haven't decided if we're going to continue with Hollow Knight or if I'm going to indulge these fantastic bits of awesomeness that my wife got me for my birthday, because I really do enjoy playing Mega Man Battle Network as well. Yeah, that's the point of this. I'm glad that everybody's get a chance to relax with me. Have a great rest of the weekend, and I will talk to you very soon. Have a good one, everybody. Bye.